nice round of applause for Kevin O'Brien, everybody. Here comes Kevin O'Brien.
Keep it going for Chuck Roy and the Nix Brothers, huh? This awesome festival for all of us. My name's Kevin O'Brien. A little bit about myself. I am a single young man. I went through a pretty rough breakup last year, and I don't think I handled it well. Like, you know, you're going through a really tough time in a breakup when Phil Collins, Against All Odds, speaks to you on a deep, personal level. And I remember the night my ex-girlfriend and I broke up, she sent me a text message and said, "Please don't sleep with anyone tonight." We were together for 5 years. She has grossly overestimated my abilities to pick up women. And I think it's kind of hard to pick up chicks when you're alone in the fetal position crying while watching Jerry Maguire by yourself. But I've been out of the game for a while. Any ladies want to have something to do tonight? I got a copy of Jerry Maguire with your name on it. We can spoon. I'm really good at it, because that's all the fetal position is. It's just spooning with nobody else there, just holding yourself. I was out recently and I overheard this girl say, "I knew I loved him when I could fart in front of him." That's total bullshit. I work in a restaurant. I am constantly crop dusting people I can't stand all day long. Before every shift, I used to get a can of cold beans so I can drop bombs and ruin people's days as they're trying to eat their quesadillas. They're like, "What is this, Greeley? What's that smell in this restaurant?" I hate those people. You want to know what true love is? I used to watch my ex-girlfriend poop. And not like in a weird way in the bushes when she didn't know I was there. But we were together for so long that the boundaries get broken down, and eventually you're going to see that person poop regularly. Or irregularly, depending on their dietary habits. So now I'm deathly afraid that I'm never going to see a woman poop again unless I go on Craigslist and spend about $75. But I don't know if that's the definition of love I'm looking for in the casual encounter section. I was hanging at a dive bar in Colfax recently, and I overheard this guy yell at this girl. I didn't even know this guy. Girl walks in, and he says to her, "Sup, big tits?" She, being a normal human being, walks past him, shoots him the dirtiest look I've ever seen in my life. He, undeterred, turns to his buddy and goes, "It works." I hope to God that doesn't work, because that's going to be a very uncomfortable story when your kids ask how you met their mom. See, I was hanging at a dive bar on Colfax on a Tuesday when your mom walked in, and I said, "What to do, camel toe?" Next thing I know, you're born 6.5 months later with fetal alcohol syndrome. And trust me, I'm no saint, I'm no better. I went to a strip club recently in the booming metropolis of Rock Springs, Wyoming. And I was hanging out with these local guys, and I was like, "Hey, what are you guys up to? What are you gonna do tonight?" They're like, "Oh man, we're going to the Astro Lounge." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And this guy got really excited. He goes, "You gotta come, man. They got dancers in from Salt Lake City." It's like, what, the Jazz have a road game? What strippers are in Salt Lake City, Utah? And so on the way there, I get on my phone, look it up on Google. One review of the Astro Lounge, 4 stars. And I said, "A great place to hang out. My only complaint is that the strippers are a little unnecessarily aggressive." The hell is going on in strip clubs in Rock Springs? Like, some guy just walks in minding his own business. All of a sudden a stripper sets him down. They're like, "You're getting a lap dance, bitch. Suck on my titty. Suck on my titty." And that's exactly what fucking happened at the Astro Lounge in Rock Springs, Wyoming. I hate strip clubs, so I'm sitting at the bar with my back to the stage, drinking, minding my own business, when a stripper whips me around, pulls open my shirt, and starts clawing at my chest. It's the closest I've ever come to a bear attack in my entire life. And I guarantee you the bear weighed less and was not as hairy as this woman was. So I just remember my scout training. I was like, "Be bigger than the bear." I started throwing singles at her until she ran away. I know you're not supposed to feed the bears, but this one really enjoyed it. And so then as I'm like turning back to the stage, turning back to the bar, I look at the stage, and there's a dancer who was not from Salt Lake City, I'll tell you that much. And she had a giant C-section scar above her bikini bottoms. I was like, "Oh God." And so I just started drinking to blackout to erase my memory of this entire experience. But here's the thing about getting blackout drunk. You still remember the shit that happens before you blacked out. So now every time I blink, I just see that C-section scar. If that's not bad enough, on my way back to Denver, right on the border, as I'm leaving Wyoming, I see a giant billboard and it said, "What if Jesus was aborted?" Like that was even an option in the year zero. It's like, wow, thank Christ the Virgin Mary couldn't get a ride at the Planned Parenthood of Nazareth on that day. What if Jesus board? That billboard might as well say, what if God pulled out? Because that's just as feasible as Jesus being aborted in -0 BC. And I went to Catholic school. I went to college like 12 blocks from here at a very nice Catholic school. And now I'm here. So I'm really excited to be at the Oriental Theater. Anybody from the North Side? Any North Siders in the house tonight? Yeah? I probably puked on your front porch at some point between 2004 and 2008. And I'm sorry. When I was in college, I thought I was going to save the world. I actually did AmeriCorps for an entire year, and I worked with like these little kids from the hood, these underprivileged youths. Aurora, essentially, is where they're all from. And it was an eye-opening experience, because when I did it, I was like, these kids do not live the way that I lived when I was a little kid. And it went all the way down to the books that they read. Like, when I was a little kid, I loved Where's Waldo. These kids had never heard of that. Instead, they were like, yo, motherfucker, seen Waldo? They also had the Repo Man Who Stole Christmas. That's not a happy ending unless you're the Repo Man. The worst one I saw was the Berenstain Bears get evicted. And I was like, all right. Figure with a name like Berenstain, they might be able to manage their finances a little bit better. It's funny too, because when I was in college, I didn't have like, I didn't smoke a lot of pot. I wasn't doing bong rips in my dorm room and stuff. I didn't start smoking weed until this past year, and I was smoking a lot of weed. But I had the privilege of going to my first weed excursion. I went to the 420 rally in April. And I went there to meet with my friends, and I couldn't find them anywhere, and they were the ones that had the pot. And so I went up to this guy right before 420. They were counting it down like it was a weed New Year's. And I went to this guy, and I was like, hey, man, hate to be that guy. It's my first 420. Can I get a hit? And he's like, oh, yeah, man, here. Pulls out a joint, hands it to me. He goes, happy holiday, bro. I was like, wow, thanks, Marijuana Claus. I had been a good boy this year, and skipped off into the park all by myself. Smoked my joint for what I thought was 2 hours. Turned out it was only 15 minutes. And with drugs too, like I took DARE, and it doesn't work at all. Like, how many of you guys took DARE? Yeah, all of you are drinking. Every single one of you had a beer in front of you. And I remember like the first day at DARE, I don't know who they get to teach. It has to be like some rookie cop that just got the graveyard shift at 8 o'clock in the morning, like the last place he wants to be is in elementary school. Cop walks in, and he just goes, okay, kids, every letter in DARE stands for a word. You want to guess what the words are? And we all get excited, we're like, yeah, and he goes, D. Kids go, drugs. A. Abuse. R. And a kid in the front row raised his hand and yelled, rape! And this poor cop's like, no, son, it's resistance. And the kid goes, I know, it's what makes it rape! And apparently the E stood for expel, because I never saw that kid in class again. All right, thank you guys so much. My name's Kevin O'Brien. Enjoy the rest of the show.